Today is Wednesday, September 9th, and welcome to the reading of the Mansfield News Journal. We begin today with the area death notices. Daniel D. Beaver, age 69, of Mount Vernon, Ohio, passed away on Saturday, September 5th, at his home. Friends may call on Thursday from 5 to 8 p.m. at the Flowers Snyder Funeral Home, Mount Vernon. A Mass of Christian burial will be held on Friday at 10 a.m. at St. Vincent de Paul Catholic Church. Michael Dwayne Brooks, 45, of Mansfield, Ohio, passed away at Ohio Health Mansfield Hospital on Thursday, September 3rd. Visitation, 10 a.m. to 12 noon, followed by a private funeral for family only at 12 noon on Thursday, September 10th, at the Oasis of Love. Mask and social distancing are required. Ernest Cunningham, known as Tenny, 86, resident of Plymouth, Ohio, passed away on Sunday, September 6th, at Blossom Nursing Home in Willard. Family and friends may gather at the Secor Funeral Home in Plymouth, Ohio on Tuesday, September 8th from 5 to 7 p.m. Tenny's funeral service will be held at the funeral home on Wednesday, September 9th at 11 a.m. George Buddy Grubbs, 83, of Mansfield, passed away Sunday, September 6th at Avita Gallion Hospital due to complications with Parkinson's disease the past 3 years and heart disease. There will be no public services observed. Carolyn H. Hambley, 79, of Mansfield, passed away Monday, September 7th at her home. The family will receive friends from 4 to 6 p.m. Friday, September 11th at the Ontario home of Wapner Funeral Directors. The funeral service will be held in the funeral home on Saturday at 3 p.m. with additional visitation beginning at 2 p.m. Lawrence Dean Kunkel, 78, peacefully passed away in his home September 6th under the care of Ohio Health Hospice. His family will receive friends 4 to 8 p.m. Thursday, September 10th at Snyder Funeral Home, where a funeral service honoring his life will be held 1 p.m. Friday. A graveside service will be held 11 a.m. Saturday, September 12th in Lexington Cemetery. Raymond Thomas, 85, went to his heavenly home on Saturday afternoon, September 5th, from his home in Mansfield. The family will receive friends from 5 to 8 p.m. Thursday, September 10th at the Ontario home of Wapner Funeral Directors. The funeral service will be held in the funeral home on Friday at 2 p.m. Charles E. Young, Jr. found eternal peace on Monday, September 7th. There will be a private family service at his grave site. Terry L. Zerker, 73, passed away peacefully Friday night, September 4th, at the James Cancer Center at the Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center in Columbus. Terry's funeral will be held on Friday, September 11th at 10:30 at the Shelby High School track. Seating will be available in both the infield and bleachers. That concludes the area deaths listed in the Wednesday Mansfield News Journal. So let's move on to our first article. Richland B&O Trail marks its 25th year. The scenic path popular for bicycling, walking, jogging, and inline skating, by Lou Whitmire. The Richland B&O Trail is celebrating 25 years of operation. The popular 18.4-mile trail, which stretches from North Lake Park to Butler, is used year-round. The Richland County Park District operates the Richland B&O Trail, a public rail trail built on the abandoned B&O rail line. The scenic trail connects Mansfield, Lexington, Belleville, and Butler, and is used for bicycling, walking, jogging, inline skating, and nature study. Planning for the Richland B&O Trail originally started in 1986, and the trail was the second in the nation to use the Rails to Trail Act to develop new trails. After several years of planning and construction, the trail opened on October 7, 1995, and was the 700th rail trail in the United States. Starting on September 12th and leading up to the anniversary date, a series of 25 daily posts will be available on the Richland County Park District Facebook page, noting information about various trail locations and trail history. An information table will be available on the following dates, and locations where commemorative stickers, posters, and trail maps will be available on a first-come, first-served basis. Those locations are Millsboro Road parking from September 16th from 7 a.m. to noon, Lexington Trail parking area September 26th from 8 a.m. to noon, Belleville Bike Depot September 30th from 4 to 6 p.m., Butler Hitchman Park October 4th from 8 a.m. to noon. Special commemorative signage is also being placed at each trailhead. Tuesday, Michael Solon, trail manager, said the ridership this year has been out of control due to COVID-19. We're happy to be here, he said, from Butler on the trail. Solon said 90% of the bike trail maintenance is done by volunteers who he can't thank enough. Lee Tassif, president of Destination Mansfield, said the bike trail is a fabulous attraction in Richland County. When COVID-19 hit, we did a takeout menu page and everything was aimed local, he said of destinationmansfield.com. Our readership on the website was a lot more local than it had ever been. We started to look for what was the trends in the pages viewed and what were people looking for in our website. The things at the top of the list was the bike trail, and it was part of the recovery, he said. And people were starting to look outside their own communities for things to do, he added. More out-of-town viewers came back to our site in May looking for things to do outside, Tassif said. Starting in May and through August was bike trails and biking and hiking trail pages, which were some of the most viewed pages. It's always been a great asset for the community, but with COVID-19, it has allowed anybody to escape the city. It's easy to get to, he added. Whenever Tassif rode the trail this summer, he noted that half or more of the vehicle's license plates were from out of the county. The Richland County B&O Trail is operated by the Richland County Park District along with the Gorman Nature Center, Fleming Falls Reserve, and other natural areas in Richland County. The B&O Trail traverses 18.4 miles of a former Baltimore and Ohio rail corridor from Butler to Mansfield. Key stops along the trail include North Lake Park in Mansfield, Lexington Community Park, Belleville Train Depot, and the Hitchman Park in Butler. Funding for trail operations and maintenance is provided by the Richland County Commissioners on a year-by-year basis. A majority of the trail maintenance activities are provided by volunteers who are committed to keeping the trail open and usable by walkers, runners, and cyclists. Main Street Books closes its doors September 26th. Also being shuttered is Old Soul Vintage Attire and Records Next Door by Lou Whitmire. Main Street Books and neighboring business Old Soul Vintage Attire and Records is closing at the end of the month, downtown at 104 North Main Street and 106 North Main Street, respectively. The bookstore's manager, Lelyn Fowler, also known as the Bookstore Lady, sent an email to authors Tuesday to share the sad news. Main Street Books also posted a farewell notice on Facebook Tuesday. Next door to the bookstore, the Old Soul Vintage Attire and Records is closing September 5th, according to its website. John Ferniak of Engwiller Properties, which manages more than 75 units within the Carousel District and downtown Mansfield, said the bookstore has been a wonderful store. But our volume got to the point we can't keep it open, he said Tuesday. Ferniak said he just leased the property next to City Grill on East 4th Street to a store owner who sells records and other items. The store will be opening October 1st, and the operator is a relative of the owners of Lehman's in Kidron, who already have a store in Worcester and wanted a store in the Carousel District. Fowler said in her letter to authors Tuesday, "My dear authors, I'm writing you today to share some sad news about Main Street Books. We'll be closing down at the end of the month. The owner, John Ferniak, has decided to shut the doors permanently," Fowler said. "Just wanted to let you know because each of you played an important role in making the bookstore the awesome splash of culture here that it was. Author events were pretty much my favorite part of being the bookstore lady, and not just because of the mug of wine," she said. "Thank you all for visiting the bookstore and sharing your time and talent with my dedicated group of book lovers. Yours is important work, and I hope to continue supporting writers and books in whatever comes next for me. Much love, Lannon. In a Main Street Books post on Facebook Tuesday, Fowler said the last day will be September 26th. As the manager for over 9 years, I want to thank all of you who have supported the bookstore. It's not easy for independent bookstores to survive anywhere, but is especially challenging in little towns like Mansfield. I fought day in and out to keep the bookstore open, but it was ultimately a losing battle, she said. I should clarify, though, that this doesn't mean I think the bookstore wasn't successful. I don't believe success in this case has anything to do with money. I think it has to do with the number of lives the bookstore has touched and made richer, and our contribution to making Mansfield a better, more complex, and interesting place to live, Fowler said in her posts. Thanks to all of you who made me the bookstore lady. When I tell people this is a dream job, I am not exaggerating. I have loved every minute of recommending books to you, introducing you to authors who've come to speak, talking about books and writing with you, hanging new art, making crafts, playing with your children, and even finding the perfect gift for your loved ones. Definitely the most rewarding job I've ever had. So much so that it became my personality. And truly, I am concerned about the cultural hole this will be leaving in our town. I don't know how to fix it, except to hope you all keep reading and meeting to discuss books, and keep writing and meeting to discuss that writing. Use our wonderful library. Use the online sources that support anyone other than Jeff Bezos, she said. If you'd like to continue supporting independent bookstores, I urge you to order your books through bookshop.org, an organization that supports the hundreds of indies around the country. Part of every purchase made through them goes to independent bookstores. You can get Amazon alternative audiobooks there too. The link will take you to libro.fm, another indie-friendly book site. Powell's Books out of Portland is a great source for used books online if you can't find your book new anywhere, she said in her post. Keep fighting the good fight, and I promise I will as well. Come visit me before the 26th, for I will miss you all dearly, she said in her post. Fowler started drawing people into the downtown area shortly after becoming the manager of Main Street Books in 2011. At that point, Relax It's Just Coffee had opened up, and both of us were starting to create events to draw people in, Fowler said. Relax was having music, and I was having readings, like Mikeless Open Mics, the News Journal reported in 2015. People started moving into the area, and people started coming downtown. In 2011, the Downtown Arts Hub was getting its start. Now downtown Mansfield is known for being a local arts destination. I feel like we're kind of reaching critical mass now, Fowler told the News Journal in a previous article. We're drawing people to come and hang out at the destinations. Fowler said downtown Mansfield is a place for all types of artists. Main Street Books offer 3 shelves of Ohio-related books, according to Fowler. She said she has an entire bookshelf dedicated to self-published Ohio authors, which include books from local authors. Most of the authors are people who are still around this area, Fowler said earlier. I kind of see this as a place where authors, friends, and family can come buy their works. It's also a buy local thing. People don't have to buy it online. They can come to my store. Fowler is a member of the arts sector of the Richland County Development Group. She said she hosts meetings with Kathy Goodwin of Element of Art, and they try to organize events throughout the county with members of the arts community. She has hosted monthly poetry readings at the store, which attracted poets from all over the state, and she featured visual artists who displayed work on the walls upstairs. Limited hours now at Main Street Books are noon to 4 p.m. Wednesdays through Saturdays. Fowler could not immediately be reached for comment on Tuesday. Lee Tassif, president of Destination Mansfield, also located in the Carousel District, said, "We absolutely love working with Lellen. We will miss her and the bookshop." Susie Saprano, the owner of City News, also on North Main Street, said she will miss Lellen and her bookstore. "I think it's devastating, and I get it," she said. Soprano said she's going to miss her neighbor. She's been a tremendous asset to the downtown, Soprano said. Our next article, Nursing Home Program Seeking Volunteers by Mark Cottle. In Ontario, Diane Cunningham's grandmother stayed in an assisted living facility. We loved her dearly, she said. We were frustrated at times. We wanted better for her. If I had only known how to help her better. While she couldn't help her grandmother, Cunningham has helped many other people in such facilities. Since 2014, she has been an ombudsman or an advocate for the Long-Term Care Ombudsman Program. I had retired from the hospital, Cunningham said. Volunteering is my thing. I didn't know what I was getting myself into, but they said they would provide all the training. The Ombudsman Program advocates for people receiving home care, assisted living, or nursing care. They work to resolve complaints about services, help people select a provider, and give out information about benefits and consumer rights. It is operated through the Ohio District 5 Area Agency on Aging. Melissa Wilson, the LTC Ombudsman Specialist and Volunteer Coordinator, said people like Cunningham are valuable. We could not reach all the individuals we assist without our volunteers, who contributed over 530 hours last year, she said. Their role is a little different right now, as they are calling residents and family members in place of visits to see how they're doing and make them aware of our nursing and assisted living homes, which total 94. As an Ombudsman associate, volunteers are a critical component in advocating for residents in nursing and assisted living homes. In many cases, they will be the first contact residents and families have with the program. Volunteers typically visit nursing and assisted living home residents, but because of the current visit restrictions relating to COVID-19, are unable to do so. Ombudsman volunteers can, however, play an important role and assist the program by calling residents and their families or representatives to check on individuals' care and services. Volunteers will receive comprehensive training, currently in a distance learning format, from the regional program and are certified to perform certain duties, which include providing residents with information about the Ombudsman program and residents' rights, working with facility staff to resolve simple problems, supporting Ombudsman staff as they investigate more complicated complaints, being a voice for those who are unable to make their voice heard. Wilson is seeking more volunteers. For information and an application, people can call her at 800-860-5799, extension 1107. Or you can email her at mwilson@aaa5ohio.org. Or write her in care of Long-Term Care Ombudsman Program, 2131 Park Avenue West, Suite 100, Ontario, Ohio, 44906. Cunningham is the ombudsman for 60 people in one facility. Before the virus hit, I would spend several hours or several days trying to get to everybody, she said. Cunningham said some residents think they will get in trouble if they complain. She acts as a go-between. Some problems are easily fixable. A resident might want a different entree on Tuesday or to postpone a shower until after the price is right. Cunningham said she also has a good relationship with the staff. I'm not coming in as an inspector, she said. I get to know them. We want to make their jobs easier as well. But she especially loves getting to know the residents. That's what's so rewarding about it. It's like visiting my grandma, Cunningham said. They've had rich lives. They have wonderful stories. They did important jobs and raised big families. It's like I have a bunch of grandmas. Let's talk about most wanteds. There are 3 fugitives that have out of the area ties. By Mark Cottle. In Mansfield, 3 of the 4 fugitives in this week's edition of Most Wanted have ties out of the area. Lisa Lopez Hernandez, 41, is wanted on a charge of felonious assault. She has ties to Mansfield and Belleville, as well as Arizona and California. Lopez is 5 feet 8 inches and 150 pounds. She has brown hair and brown eyes. Jason Ramsey, 38, is being sought on a probation violation. His original charge was possession of cocaine. He has ties to Mansfield, Shelby, and Youngstown. Ramsey is 5'7" and 180 pounds with black hair and blue eyes. C.N. Wright, 29, is wanted on charges of trafficking and possession of drugs. She has ties to Mansfield and Akron. Wright is 5'5" and 180 pounds. She has brown hair and hazel eyes. Montel Taylor, 38, is being sought for a parole violation. His original charge was aggravated burglary. Taylor has ties to Mansfield. He's 5'11" and 195 pounds. Taylor has black hair and brown eyes. Anyone with information on the whereabouts of any of the fugitives is asked to call the Richland County Division of the Northern Ohio Violent Fugitive Task Force at 419-774-3565 or 866-4-WANTED. Reward money is available, but tipsters also can remain anonymous. Up next, Local Recall, Songbird Center's Untapped Potential by Lou Whitmire. In Lexington, the former Songbird Center Concert Amphitheater at 4525 Mill Run Road, south of the village, is for sale and has brought back a flurry of memories for many people on social media. The asking price for the 57-acre site is $1.25 million, according to Dream Huge Realty's website. The site was once the Mid-Ohio Motocross track. It was a popular concert venue in the early 80s, with shows including Loverboy and Joan Jett and the Blackhearts in its opening season of 1982, and the Tubes, Reba McEntire, and Hall & Oates in 1983. Songbird Center, an outdoor concert facility near Lexington, was built to attract up to 20,000 fans, but was sold at a sheriff's auction in 1986 because of sparsely attended events, the News Journal reported at the time. It was opened by 3 Mansfielders in 1982 and closed in 1985. Marion Zog, president of the Songbird's original board of directors, told the News Journal in 1983 that the venue had been designed to bring in top-level shows such as those featured at the renowned Blossom Music Center in Cuyahoga Falls. The facility featured a 45 by 60-foot stage, dressing rooms for performers, and an expansive lawn that could accommodate up to 30,000 people. The first concert, held July 11, 1982, featured Pure Prairie League, Alex Bevan, and Lost Bob and the Ozone Ramblers, but drew only 350 people. A month later, the dual headliners of Loverboy and Joan Jett played to a crowd of 9,500 people. Zog acknowledged in 1983 article that the Loverboy Jett show was the only moderate success during the inaugural season, but Songbird's owners plan to stage a show every other week during the summer with hopes of drawing 12,000 people a night. He said the goal was to prove to local residents that they could enjoy a big-time concert virtually in their backyard, and to also convince major artists they should sign up to perform at Songbird Center. Financially, he said, it has been a fight, to be honest. Some of the well-known artists that had been booked at the venue but ended up canceling their shows included ZZ Top, Hank Williams Jr., James Taylor, and Men at Work. Several festivals were held at Songbird in the 2000s, including a series of Monsters of Rock Summer Jam events. Diana Donovan, a realtor with Dream Huge Realty, said she has been contacted by so many people from Columbus to Cleveland about the listing. A drone video made for the property has gotten over 6,000 views in 2 days. The property, which is zoned commercial, has been used as mostly farmland since Songbird, Donovan said. She says the owners has maintained the amphitheater over the years. I've had great conversations with people who went there or work there who have a lot of emotional attachment, she said. A former stagehand contacted her regarding this time spent there. I'm excited at what it could mean to the community, she said. A lot of interest has been stirred up about it. Gary Levelis of Mansfield said he never went to a concert there per se, but he did work there a couple of times when American Bikers Aiming Towards Education had its State of Ohio motorcycle rally there. Levelis said he also worked for Michael Dougherty, current owner of the property, and Bob Eckert when the second incarnation of the Mid-Ohio Motorcycle Park was in operation from 1990 to 1996. Local resident Tim Kirshner said it could have been a great concert venue at the time, but was really run off by Belkin Productions. It never really had the chance to be a bigger thing. Out in the middle of nowhere, but was great for us locals. I was a teenager at the time and saw Joan Jett and Loverboy. Don't remember much due to intoxication at the time, but I do remember that they flew Joan Jett off in a helicopter. Local musician Frank Medley once played there. Medley of Mansfield said he also played for friends, Spanky and Ginger Hale's wedding reception at the former concert site on July 2nd, 1994. It was a very nice place, and it sounded great, he said, of performing from the amphitheater. Well, let's see what's in the local briefs. A portion of Ohio 61 is to close next week. In Shelby, Ohio 61 between London West Road and State Street will close Monday for railroad crossing repairs. The detour route for northbound motorists is Ohio 61 to Ohio 96, west on Ohio 96 to Ohio 3996, west on Ohio 3996 to Ohio 598, north on Ohio 598 to Ohio 61, and reverse for the southbound motorists. Work is expected to be completed by September 17th. I hope you got all that. Ohio Auditors honors local auditor's office. In Columbus, Ohio Auditor Keith Faber is recognizing the Richland County and Crawford County Auditor's Office with the Auditor of State Award of Distinction. The award is presented to local governments and school districts upon the completion of a financial audit. Entities that receive the award meet several criteria of a clean audit report, including filing financial reports by the statutory due date and no findings for recovery, significant deficiencies, or questioned costs. Full copies of these reports are available online at ohioauditor.gov/audit search. 2 local sites part of Ohio Open Doors celebration. In Mansfield, historic buildings and landmarks across the state are opening their doors virtually for online tours and events during the Ohio History Connection event, Ohio Open Doors, beginning Friday through September 20th. Among the sites to be featured are Oak Hill Cottage and the Renaissance Theater. The Richland County Historical Society will host an 18-minute room-to-room narrated tour, while the Renaissance Theater will show a 3D virtual tour of its building on Friday. This tour will give an insider look at the front of the house and the back, and even tell a ghost story or two. This year, Ohio Open Doors has a special focus on opera hours and historic theaters as a way to highlight their impact in our communities and support them during this difficult time. All Ohio Open Doors events are free and available online at ohiohistory.org/opendoors. Well, friends, this concludes the reading of the Mansfield News Journal for Wednesday, September 9th. Please stay in if you can. Be safe. May you be blessed. And if you can, make it just a great day.